Hello and welcome to my Styrian Grand Prix driver predictions. The series in which you guys, the audience, can get involved. Using the link in the top line of the description, you'll be asked a set of questions which we'll briefly go over in a moment in order to get submitted into the Audience Prediction Championships. So without further ado, let us jump on into today's video, which is the Styrian Grand Prix predictions for qualifying, a bold statement for the entire weekend, and the race. So how exactly does this series work? Well, by following that link in the top line in the description, you'll be asked for your top 5 for qualifying, your top 5 for the race, and then one bold statement throughout the entire weekend. Now, you can make up to as many predictions as you like up until the start of Q1. So if you want to get your predictions submitted on Thursday, the day of this video is released, then by all means. But if you would like to wait until all 3 practice sessions are done and dusted, then by all means do that as well. I'll only be accepting submissions up until the start of Q1, and then I'll be removing the link. And in terms of scoring, you will receive 2 points for a correct driver in the correct position, and then 1 point for a correct driver in the top 5 that is not in the correct position for qualifying, then exactly the same for the race, and then you will receive 5 points for your bold statement if it is remotely accurate. There is, of course, going to be lots of leeway for this, as it can be something as simple as a driver spins, but if you were to just write a driver spins, I will apply that to the entire weekend, so a spin in practice would earn you those 5 bonus points. But obviously, if you mention something specific, you mention something like Sainz will outqualify Leclerc in all 3 of the qualifying sessions, and he only does it in 2, then that's not your bold statement correct. So obviously, the less specific you are, the more chance you have of scoring those 5 bonus points, but it can be more rewarding to you guys if you actually get a decent bold statement and it comes true. Then on a video that gets released on Sunday, you'll be added into the big scoring database, which currently looks a little bit like this. This is the total scores of everybody that has entered so far. There is an extra page of entries. We have Evan Darcy, the first person to break the 100-point mark, 13 clear of a Doctor Who channel, and then you find myself P4 in my own contest. And we have a bunch of other names down here as well. We have people like Min Verstappen, Kit BM, Minion023, Elian as well, Gear Down Aviation, AB Baby, Torst, Callum, Beware the Groove, Brock the Form of Racing, Alex Santiago, etc, etc. Then in the second half, we have people like Rubber Duck, WR, Sam Mollock, Andrew Smith, Benny33, Robert, Mika Tukkinen as well. Then equally in that video on Sunday, there is an average leaderboard that is also produced, so you don't have to have entered into every single one of the races and predictions so far this year to score highly in that leaderboard. But without further ado, we will now jump on into my predictions, and we start with the qualifying top 5. And for pole position, I've gone for Max Verstappen around the Red Bull ring. And then P2, I've gone for Sergio Perez, a Red Bull 1-2. I think that would be the first front row lockout of this year, if it was to come true, of course, at the Red Bull ring. As we have seen over the past few races, the Red Bull is now 100% the fastest car that is on the current grid, and the Red Bull ring just suits their car, and especially Max Verstappen. He loves it there. He has 2 wins there so far already. I mean, so does actually Valtteri Bottas and also Lewis Hamilton. They each have 2. But definitely, it's just a car and a track that suits the Red Bull at the moment. And then for P3, I have gone for Lewis Hamilton because he can always put in a decent performance on Saturday. He may even get onto the front row. Hell, he may even put it on pole position. But I think he'll be P3. Then just behind, I think it will be Valtteri Bottas. And then for P5, I've gone for Charles Leclerc. I think Ferrari are going to have a bit of a resurgent race this Grand Prix. Well, saying that they had a decent qualifying anyway. Sainz was P5. But I think it's going to be Leclerc that gets that P5 spot this time. Then taking a look at my race top 5 for the Grand Prix victory, again, I've gone for Max Verstappen. 2 victories in a row, I believe, is what he is going to be aiming for. And I think it's going to be a sort of waltz away into the distance, so to speak. Kind of what Lewis Hamilton has done the past couple of years. Starts on pole position and then just has a nice 5 or 10 second gap the entire way through the race. However, in P2, I think it will be Lewis Hamilton over Sergio Perez, but then P3, I think Charles Leclerc is going to sneak a cheeky podium, in a very similar manner to what happened in the first Austrian Grand Prix of 2020. Then P4, I've gone for Sergio Perez, and P5, Valtteri Bottas. Now, honestly, I don't think this is too much of a crazy top 5. But then from the top 5, we'll take a look at my bold statement for the weekend, and that is that both Ferraris will score points in the race. And there we go, there is my Styrian Grand Prix driver predictions all done and dusted for this weekend's race. Make sure to follow the link in the top line of the description to get your predictions into the database. There will also be a second link in which you can check your predictions as well and see as well what other people have predicted. But that is all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next episode with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.